let's take a look at 27. We see that we have two parentheses and one small one instead of the big one. So what we need to do is we need to carry out the calculations from the inside parentheses first. So the most inside, which is this one, 350 minus 287. We need to do that first. Okay? So again, let me do the calculations on the side. 350 minus 287. Well, 0 minus 7 doesn't work. Let me borrow the 1 from the 5. This is a 4, this is a 10 now. 10 minus 7 is equal to 3. And then 4 minus 8 doesn't work. So let me carry this. This is a 2 now, but then I can make this a 14. 14 minus 8 is equal to 6. And 2 minus 2 is equal to 0. So, inside of this parentheses, the result is 63. So we have 63, and then we can maintain the small parentheses, and then maintain the division, the 3, and then bring down the big parentheses, and we still have the exponent 2 on the top, right here. But let's take a look at this one. We have 63 inside this parentheses, and there's no number in front of this parentheses. So this smaller parentheses doesn't matter anymore. So we can look at this question as 63 without having that parentheses. 63 divided by 3 right here, and then maintain the big parentheses to the second power like that. Okay? So now, let's see. We have to work out the inside first. Always work out the inside of the parentheses first. 63 divided by 3. So let's work out the division. 63 inside, because 63 is the first number. And put a 3 outside. 3 goes into 6 twice. 2 times 3 is 6. And then we subtract. Becomes 0. And then bring down the 3 right here. 3 goes into 3 once. 3 times 3, 1 times 3 is equal to 3. Subtract, get 0. Okay? So then we get 21, and that's the result of the inside. Still have the parentheses square. But this just means 21 square, which means 21 times 21. Okay, so the square here means that we have 21 times 21. Then let me do the calculation right here. 21 times 21. So do the calculation. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 2 is 2. And then move on to the 2, to this 2. So I think people usually put like a 0, put like some kind of space right there. But let me put a 0 right there. Anyways, if we want to start with this 2, 2 times 1 is equal to 2. You will have to put a 2 right there. And then 2 times 2 is equal to 4. And put a 4 right there. And when we multiply, we add the results. 1 plus 0 is 1. 2 plus 2 is 4. And then the 2 is right there. So 21 squared, which is 21 times 21. That's the result of 441. 441. And you can see that right here. Okay, right there. And let me just cross this out for fun. Okay, question number 30. I have 3 to the second power plus 2 to the 6th power minus 1 to the 5th power over 36 minus 8 parentheses 3 plus 1. Just like that. Okay, so we have, again, the fraction, the top divided by the bottom. Okay, the top divided by the bottom. So let's do this separately. Okay, so let's look at the top, which is 3 squared plus 2 to the 6 minus 1 to the 5. And let's get the result of this first. And as we said earlier, subtractions and addition, they are kind of like the separators. So I think that's one way to remember that you should always add or subtract at the end. And here we need to carry out the exponent first. So for 3 to the second power, that means 3 times 3. I know the result is equal to 9. So that's 9. Bring down the plus sign. And we have 2 to the 6. Let me put it down right here. We need to work out what's 2 to the 6. 2 to the 6 means 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. And one more, times 2. Sorry, let me write it again. 2 to the 6 means 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, right? Okay, so I have 6 2's multiplying together, and we just kind of have to now keep track. 2 times 2 is 4, okay? And then 4 times this 2 is 8, 16. 16 times that 2 is 32. 32 times that 2 is 64. So 2 to the 6, it's a result of 64. Okay? Bring down the subtraction. And then 1 to the 5th power. So let me write this down. 1 to the 5th power. 1 to the 5th power means 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 times 1. I have 5 of the 1's. Right? Well, 1 times 1 is just 1, 1 times 1 is just 1, 1 times 1 is just 1, 1 times 1 is just 1. So all this is just 1. Right? This is just going to be equal to 1. In fact, 1 to the any power is always going to be equal to 1. So I have 9 plus 64 minus 1. Addition, subtractions, we work from left to right. So 9 plus 64 is 73, and then bring down the minus 1. 73 minus 1 is 72. So 72 is the result of the top. We have 72 right there. And let's look at the bottom. Let's look at the bottom right here. So for the bottom, I have 36 minus 8, parentheses 3 plus 1. Do not just do 36 minus 8. We need to work out the order of operations. And follow that. Do the inside first, inside of the parentheses first. So I have 36 minus 8. Just write it down again. 3 plus 1 is equal to 4. In this case, since we have a number in front of the parentheses, you really need to maintain that parentheses. Because now, this parentheses means to multiply. This parentheses here means to multiply. We need to do 8 times 4 right now. Okay? Right now we need to do 8 times 4. And that's 32. So the 36 maintain the same. Bring down the minus. 8 times 4 is equal to 32. Lastly, 36 minus 32 is of course just equal to 4. Okay? So 4 is the result of the bottom. Okay, 4 is the result of the bottom. Let's put it down right here. And now let's look at this as 72 over, which is 72 divided by 4. Okay? So you can do it like this, 72 divided by 4. Okay? The number on the top goes inside. Well, you can look at this as 72 divided by 4. The first number goes inside. Okay? So 4 goes into 7 one time. And 1 times 4 is equal to 4. You subtract 4 minus 7 minus 4 is equal to 3. And then bring down a 2 like this. 4 goes into 32 8 times. 8 times 4 is equal to 32. And you subtract, you get 0. So 72 over 4. The answer is right here. It's 18. It's 18. And 18 is right here.